Back in 1999, Crash Bandicoot was the Sony's counterpart to Nintendo's most iconic character, Mario. Just like Mario, Crash 2 was put behind the wheel. Crash Team Racing was developed in a few months. Despite this, the game resulted to be a bestseller. Approximately 2.2 million of copies were sold. The game includes 18 tracks. Most of them are set in environments inspired by the previous Crash Bandicoot games. For example, Silver Speedway is inspired by 3 levels from Crash Bandicoot 2, Seaware Operator, Hanging Out, and The Hill Deal. The roster was made up of 8 main characters: Crash Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, Tiny Tiger, Coco Bandicoot, Engine, Dingodile, Polar, and Pura. 5 more characters could be unlocked in story mode winning the gems, and they are Ripperoo, Pepu Pepu, Komodo Joe, Pinstripe, and Fake Crash, while Entropy could be unlocked beating his ghosts in time trial. Lastly, to unlock Pentapenguin, you had to use a cheat code. Pentapenguin is one of the most controversial characters. It supposedly didn't make an appearance in previous games, and its stats in the American version are the same as Polar and Pura, while in the European and Japanese ones, its stats are mixed. It created a huge difference between American players and all the other ones. Finally, Oxide was not playable due to hardware limitation. The main difference from Mario Kart was the presence of a story mode. Fun fact about it: CTR was supposed to be the last game for the franchise developed by Naughty Dog. Thus they had decided to make a ridiculous plot and a poorly designed boss. Contrary to their expectations, Oxide was well accepted and reused in successive games. Of course, CTR had arcade, cups, and fight modes as well. It's not very known that the Japanese version uses different icons for some characters. Due to its success, in 2003 Vivendi Universal commissioned the development of CTR sequel to Vicarious Visions. It was published on PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube. Crash Nitro Kart was supposed to be similar to CTR. Unluckily, CNK's gameplay had huge differences, which in result made the game less fun. The game included 13 tracks. Some of them were heavily inspired by CTR ones, like Tiny's Temple or Clockwork Woompa, which are based respectively on Tiger Temple and Cortex Castle. The main innovation is the presence of some anti-gravity sections. There are 16 playable characters and 4 bosses that are not playable. The playable characters were Crash, Coco, Crunch, Fake Crash, Neo Cortex, Tiny Tiger, Engine, Entropy, Entrance, Dingodile, Polar, Pura, Nitrous Oxide, Zam, Zam, and Velo. Team races were added to game mechanics. Basically, staying near your partner makes you feel a gauge. When it's full, you can use a lot of weapons for a very short time. In 2005, Crash Tag Team Racing came out. It's a Crash Bandicoot game in which you can race, but trust me if you haven't played it. Races are not the main game mode. Despite its name, the game is mainly a platform. It's a funny game, but the races are really skinny. Having the possibility to merge 2 carts in one to cooperate with someone seems pretty cool, but it is only if you are the one who shoots. Being the driver in this game doesn't give you any type of excitement. The roster includes 8 characters: Crash Bandicoot, Coco Bandicoot, Crunch Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, Engine, Nina Cortex, Fun Clutch, and Pasadino Possum, and there are 22 tracks. The game offers a lot of skins and cards for racers. The good news is that you can make Crash fart during loading screens, and there is also a really cool and funny arena mode, in which 4 teams made by 2 characters have to fight other teams. Now, I think that most of you already knew these games, but you may ignore the existence of other racing games in the Crash Bandicoot franchise. First of all, Crash Nitro Kart has a Game Boy Advance version 2, and it is very different from the home console's version. It is so hard to play, commands don't make any sense to me. To power slide, you have to hold R, and to boost you use A, which is the same button used to accelerate. And EA sure doesn't care about your difficulties. It's gonna hit you with tons of weapons. but I have to say that there are more tracks compared to the home console's version, and Spyro as playable character. CNK was published on Nokia Engage 2. For those who don't know it, Nokia Engage was supposed to be a mobile phone and a portable console. The project was a failure. Back to the game, it was really similar to the GBA version. The tracks are structured in the same way. The main differences are the 3D environments and an online multiplayer, making it the first Crash Bandicoot racing game with an online mode. I haven't found any way to try it, so I'm gonna report an opinion by the Nokia Engage archive. The game is pretty amazing, the graphics are great, the frame rate is awesome, and it seems to include a lot of extra content and unlockables. Unfortunately, the game is rendered nearly unplayable due to its horrendous field of view, which makes enjoying the game next to impossible. Visibility is oftentimes non-existent and forces the player to either cheese their way through the games or just learn tracks by heart. On top of that, some of the bosses cheat and teleport to make the already frustrating experience even more annoying. After the initial difficulty curve of figuring out how to play around a low field of view, the game becomes fairly easy. Thanks LVNAD for your clips. Go check his channel out, link in description. By the way, Crash Nitro Kart has a J2MA version too. It's really horrible. 4 characters, the 3 Bandicoots and Cortex. Not gonna complete it to discover how many tracks it has, but I suppose there are 9. The gameplay is really basic, use turbo pads and weapons to win. No power slides, just left and right. You can play cups or single races. I can't understand why in the main menu you can hear a Crash Bandicoot 3 main theme adaptation. In 2005, a sequel called Crash Racing came out on our mobile phones. It is a porting for J2MA of Crash Tag Team Racing, similar to the one of CNK. It is even worse than CNK because of his crazy commands. You have to push 1 or 3 to merge with another character, and because a bar that should help you to understand how far from your opponents you are is not on the screen. The 4 characters are Crash Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, Nina Cortex, and Pasadena. The tracks are just 9. It is a very sad game. I suppose these games had a bit of success because in 2008 Crash Nitro Kart 2 came out, for J2MA market again, but this game is a big step forward. Its graphics are nice to see and there are more game modes like challenges, monster truck or sudden death. In monster truck you just have to crash as many karts as you can. Sudden death is a survival mode in which the last racer for each lap is eliminated. The game has 8 characters: Crash Bandicoot, Coco Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, Ripperoo, Nina Cortex, Teeny Tiger, Nitrous Oxide, and Yaya. She's an original character and she's a panda. Each racer has its own kart. Gameplay is simple but enjoyable, and tracks can be remembered quite easily. There are new weapons like holes, kart jackings that make you swap the kart with the driver who's ahead of you, or wings that let you fly. In 2008 another game was released, in this case on iOS and Symbian, Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D. Its main game modes are the cups and the 8 challenges. Most of them are similar to the ones in CNK2, while the environments for the tracks are recycled from CTTR. Gameplay is very basic, I think it could have been more complex. The game provides 12 tracks and 8 characters: Crash Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, Coco Bandicoot, Yaya, Ripperoo and Nitrous Oxide. Later, Polar and Dingodile have been added with a patch.
I think it was my bomb that hit Oxide there, because I only shot 2. I think Yaya shot 1 and hit him. So yeah, trying to slow down and hit Oxide.
I'd like to make you notice how horrible Ripperoo is in this game. Look at it, it's incredible! 2 years later, Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2 was released on iOS only. It provided an online mode and some more game modes. Some assets seemed the same as the CTR, like turbo pads and crates. The game got only 12 tracks and 10 characters. Crash Bandicoot, Coco Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, and Nina Cortex are the starting ones, and Pura, Ripperoo, Engine, Teeny Tiger, Yaya Panda, and Crash Bandicoot have to be unlocked. The gameplay is very similar to Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 3D, but sliding was added. Thanks Pete the Player for letting me take your clips. Visit his channel to watch the entire videos. He is the world record holder of CBNK 3D and CBNK 2. Link is in description. Among all these games, the most appreciated is for sure Crash Team Racing. We can see it from amount of tracks that have been replicated in other games, like Hot Air Skyway or Mario Kart Wii. Thanks Mr. Regaming for the clip. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel is at the moment the last racing game from this franchise. It's a CTR remake with a lot of adapted add-ons from Crash Nitro Kart and Crash Tag Team Racing. The game will be available from 21st June 2019. My hype is undominable, the game's graphics are awesome, but the gameplay doesn't seem very loyal to the original at the moment. However, I have faith in Beenox and I'm quite confident that most issues will be resolved by the launch of the game. Thanks for watching, hope to see you again.